It's 6 p.m. The gym bag is by the door. You packed it this morning, back when you were somebody else. All day you spent it, not on anything big, on choosing a sandwich, on writing one polite email 4 times, on 70 small decisions nobody will remember, including you. And now the machine won't start. Not broken, drained. This is bug report number 2, willpower. Let's open the file. The standard diagnosis is character. Strong people push through, weak people fold. Which is why you keep buying discipline the way you kept buying planners. The research tells a stranger story. In the lab, people made to resist a plate of cookies gave up faster on the next hard task. Self-control started to look less like a virtue and more like a consumable. Psychologists called it ego depletion. Willpower behaving like a battery that drains with use. It became one of the most famous findings in the field. Remember that word, famous. It matters later. Under the hood, every act of self-control runs on the same executive circuit. The machinery that overrides the easy option. Override your snooze button, your temper, your snack, your tabs. Same circuit. Same budget. That's why the failures cluster at night. Morning you spends the budget, evening you inherits the overdraft. The diet doesn't break at breakfast, it breaks at 9 p.m. in front of the fridge, every time. And choice itself is a cost, even when the options are trivial. In one famous study, judges granted parole most often right after their breaks, and less as the session wore on. Researchers still argue over that finding, but the shape of it is familiar to anyone who has ever ordered takeout at 6 p.m. Now the part nobody expects. The reason famous mattered. When the depletion experiments were rerun at scale, the effect kept shrinking. Sometimes it vanished. The battery, the famous battery, started to look partly imaginary. Then the stranger finding. People who believe willpower is strictly limited deplete on schedule. People who don't deplete later or barely at all. The battery is real as an experience, but its capacity listens to what you believe about it, which makes willpower a very unusual machine, one whose specifications are partly written by its own user manual. 3 patches. Patch 1. Stop spending. The best self-controllers in the data don't resist temptation harder. They arrange their lives to meet less of it. Fewer overrides, fewer drains. Design beats discipline. Patch 2. Decide once. A rule spends nothing. I don't check email before 9 costs 1 decision, ever. A daily choice bills you every single day. Convert repeated choices into standing rules and the leak stops. Patch 3. Audit the gauge. Sometimes I'm out of willpower is a reading. Sometimes it's the gauge writing the reading. You don't have to lie to yourself, just stop volunteering the surrender. One more thing. This episode ran a technique on you while it taught you 3 others. Early on I told you to remember a word, and your mind held that loop open for over a minute until it paid off. That pull you felt, the same open loop mechanism your apps use on you every day. If you noticed it before this sentence, your detector is coming online. Log the timestamp in the comments. First correct catch gets pinned to the case file. The bug was never weakness. It was a budget you spent invisibly on a machine that partly believes its own fuel gauge. Spend less. Decide once. And read the gauge. Don't let it read you. This has been the human pattern. Bug report number 3 is already in the queue. Enroll, and it files itself.